Hello everyone, it's Stephanie with GLITTAFUL. Today we're going to do a fun dragon scale tumbler. I am one of the rare breeds that chooses to use leftover vinyl for this. So I'm actually going to be using a vinyl that I just have laying around that I do not really use the color. And I find that it works just as fine. So how I'm gonna do this is I am going to lay down my first row, talk to you guys through it, and then I'm gonna fast forward you guys through that nitty gritty stuff because this is a labor of love tutorial and a labor of love cup. But it's super fun, it's super gorgeous, so we just have to learn how to do it, right guys? So I actually printed out my dragon scales, and I got this off my Cricut Access. I put in dragon scales and the image came up. So I'm gonna go ahead and start layering it. I start from the bottom up because I can always cut the tip, but I can't cut the bottom because it makes it look funky. So again, I'm super excited to be doing this tutorial. And guys, if you are new to my channel, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. And to everyone that's here that has already subscribed, welcome back. So you guys saw that I went ahead and put that first scale down. I am going to lay my second scale slightly over that first one, and that's just creating a hump. The whole key to this like scale fiasco is making sure that it kind of looks like what it is, a scale, creating a kind of like a ridge, a pop, and that's what we want to have across, and we want to bring. This is why a lot of people choose to use the cardstock method, where they are literally cutting out the same exact image just in cardstock paper, so scrapbook paper, and then they Mod Podge it down. Craziness. I give it to everybody that has done it that way. I am a mama of 4, so if you're new to my channel, that's a fun tidbit. I have 1-year-old twin boys, and I do not have the time to be Mod Podging scales down. That's just, no, I just can't. Again, I don't knock anybody that does, but this is so much easier. Again, with twins, a 2-year-old girl, I don't have time for that, and a 12-year-old boy. So this is my easiest way. You can absolutely try to figure out a way to weld this together and then put it all the way down. I also don't like that too much, only because I can mess it up, and I don't like that when I reach the points I can't connect. So I don't mind placing these down. And so as I'm talking, I'm laying down, and I'm almost, no I'm not. I was gonna say I'm almost at the end. I'm not. Like I said, this is a labor of love, but it's so worth it. And the color of vinyl really doesn't matter. Again, I use whatever I have in my craft room that's available. This is the color I really don't use much of, so I don't care to use it. Now, if you're new to my channel, then you will know that, you don't know that I am all about reusing and keeping my costs down. If you're just a hobbyist and this is just something that you like to do on your spare time, then you want to keep your costs down, because this stuff can get pretty expensive, and you know, it's a hobby. But if this is your business, you want to keep your costs down, and this is how you do it, by using and reusing supplies that you can and taking care of the things that you do have. So that is why my husband would say I'm cheap, because I like to keep my costs down. I like to reuse as much as I can. One of my favorite things to do is reuse my gloves. So yeah, people laugh at me. I talk about that in my group a lot too. I'm like, I reuse my gloves. Oh yeah, and we also have a Facebook group if you guys want to join and share the love of our crafting. We do share a lot of the stuff that we make, and you know, we ask questions. The entire community is there for the support of other crafters. It's called GLITTAFUL Glitter Fanatics, and we're there for the love of crafting and the love of GLITTAFUL glitter. So if you guys didn't know, we have a glitter website. It's called GLITTAFUL, and that's www.GLITTAFUL. And check us out. Check out our entire cool selection of glitter. Yep. And join us on Facebook. I'm so excited. I always love to see new faces, new crafts. It's really, really awesome, guys. All right. So I'm just go ahead and adding my last little bit. And like I said, I'm not going to put you guys through the torture of watching me lay down every scale. That's just torturous. Let's not do that to you guys. So we're going to go ahead and do just this and then show you what to expect in the second layer and fast forward you guys through that, okay? And my last scale of the first one. And the reason why I was saying like, hey, like it doesn't really matter about what color you're using is because I'm gonna spray paint this black right afterwards. All right, so I've laid my first layer down. Looks like little cool waves. By the way, this is a pool noodle cut in half. Nothing fancy. If you have something fancy, use that. Okay. So for the second layer, we are going to put our scales where these cuts are. So where these indents, in between these indents, is where we're going to lay our scales. Okay. And I will show you what that looks like. It's going to be right over that, covering that piece and moving right along the line the same way we went through the first layer, slightly over the first but over the bottom, and you're going to go around your second layer just like that. Okay, so that's 3 right there, and just watch me while I fast forward you guys through this. I'm going to do this throughout the entire cup. Okay, yeah, and so we're gonna work at this right now, and then we'll be back when we're done. All right, guys, so I went ahead and I put down all of my scales. Take a look at that. And you kind of see like the 3D factor that's happening here. It's really cool. And this is why we did an overlay of the scales over one another. So this is a labor of love cup. I cannot tell you enough how much of a labor of love cup this is. I started this cup, I had a nail appointment, I came back, and I was still putting these scales down about 35 minutes after the fact. But you basically for this, when you're doing these, I did my scales a lot smaller than I tend to see them, and you can keep them like this or you can make them a little bit bigger. I got my scales off of Cricut Design Space, and I adjusted my sizing to what I wanted. So I did want the little tiny scales. I actually have a design in mind for this. It's not going to be a dragon. It's going to be a dinosaur. So I'm actually super stoked about it, and so that's why I wanted to have a smaller scale. So let's get to this part of the top here, like this little ridge. This is something that whether you place big scales or little scales, you're going to encounter, and this is exactly what we want to see. Kind of little chop marks here, right? You're going to grab your X-Acto knife. I'm using the Cricut X-Acto knife removable blade, and you know, an X-Acto knife works just as fine. I just can't find mine. I have a ton of these things, but I just can't find it. And I'm just going to be very careful. I'm going to turn it my way because I want to be able to see it. I'm going to go around my, and I'm going to slice my vinyl. And like there was an area right there that was kind of poking back at me. All I did is I pressed it down again so that I can slice it and have a really nice clean slice, something that isn't coming off. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and do that all around your cup and clean this up. So let's go ahead and do that. So once you're done chopping off those little choppers here, you're going to go ahead and use your wand and go outside and spray paint this black. So we'll be right back. Okay, everyone. So we went ahead and we spray painted our cup black. It has a beautiful coat on it. I've already whipped up my epoxy, and I have 20 ml total of epoxy in this in my silicone measuring cup. I'm going to be playing with our newest Camellia mica called Bloodstone, and it's a part of our Glitterful collection. Now guys, if you're still watching this video, please give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to our channel, okay? All right, now let's talk about Bloodstone. So Bloodstone is a chameleon mica, and I'm not sure if you're able to pick up this gorgeousness, but it goes from orangey, bronzy kind of color to a green. And so I'm super stoked about this because it's going to be perfect play to my dinosaur tumbler. So with micas, with chameleon micas, they work best on a black base, and this is why I decided to use it on this particular tumbler. You don't ever need too much of this. You only need the tip of a popsicle stick, and you pour it right into the epoxy. Did you guys see that? Right into the epoxy. So as I'm going to stir this in thoroughly so that I get a very nice mixture into my epoxy. All right, guys. And I think I've mentioned this before, but if I already said, hey guys, please give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to our channel. But check us out on Facebook, guys. We have a Facebook group called GLITTAFUL Glitter Fanatics, where we have just a ton of crafters just sharing the love of the craft, new ideas, different techniques. We're always sharing them. And we're always excited to have new members. So I'll have that description, that link to the Facebook group below, okay? Take a look at how that Camellia mica Bloodstone, which is in our collection, it's glitterful.com, how it transforms this. How gorgeous. All right, so again, Camellia micas, they're not ordinary. They change colors, okay? So they shift colors in the light, like if you just like a color shifting glitter, it changes colors. But they work better with darker bases, in particular black bases. If you have a clear base, or you put it into epoxy and maybe it's a lighter color, it's going to still have that shifting effect, but it's not going to be as pronounced. It's going to be more of a translucent kind of look. So this is really going to make this tumbler pop. I will be using my, let me clean that off, but I'll be using my silicone brush to apply this. I use it for everything. It just saves my gloves, guys, and I absolutely love this. And this is also available on our website, okay? So yeah, so let's get to it. So I'm going to pour this gorgeousness and I'm going to guide it. I'm not like smooshing it in. I'm guiding the epoxy around the cup, okay, because I want a nice coverage. Can we talk about how gorgeous this color is? And I'm hoping that you guys are able to pick up on this shift. I'm in love, love, love. So, like I said, I kind of wanted to do more of a dinosaur kind of theme, and so I thought that this was still perfect, even though my base was black, because I can already imagine, guys, you guys are going on an uproar saying, well, dinosaurs aren't black, they're green. Well, that was the whole point about using this particular mica, because we have 6 different chameleon micas in our collection, but this one in particular has this really gorgeous orangey bronzy kind of look, but it shifts to green. So I thought it was just perfect, because dinosaurs are still dark in pigment, and they have really beautiful shifts in color, and so I just thought that this would be a really cool cup to kind of do. And yeah, so before you guys get all upset with me about choosing my base to be black, this is why. And I wanted to show you guys how gorgeous this is. And with my silicone brush, because a lot of the times I hear, well, I don't use my silicone brush because I don't like that I can't feel where my epoxy is going. And that's completely untrue. If you really pay attention to the sleekness of your brush, so how it's rotating, then you'll know when you come to a complete hard stop is where you no longer have any epoxy. And it's also being able to use, looking at it and being able to identify like where those spots are, and really going all around. And I won't pour, like I still have some epoxy in here. It's not that I'm not going to use it. I just really want to make sure that I spread the epoxy I already have on my cup all around, so that I have a very nice coverage. And then I will pour again when I feel like I'm kind of pulling at that. And I will touch the bottom. I know some of you guys don't, and that's okay. You don't have to. I've heard different reasons on why some of you guys don't do the bottoms. Some of it's for, you know, lifespan of your cups. What if someone drops it? What if it, you know, chips? I hear that. I'm all for whatever it is that you're more comfortable with. I don't know, I like the whole cup decorated, so I will always decorate my entire cup. And that's just me. And you don't have to follow me. You can absolutely just tape off the tips and the bottom portions, okay? And that's okay. I am in love with this, guys. All right, and I still have more. So I'm just gonna continue to put this around the cup, and then I'm gonna go ahead and hit this with a heat gun. Actually, I'm gonna be hitting this with a torch, but if you have a heat gun, guys, you guys know that I love, love, love my heat gun. So whatever you have works. The torch for me, again, I just use it when it's nearby, and this one happens to be nearby. I have a mess going on in my craft room, so to get those wires pulled out right now, it's just not gonna happen. So I'll be using my torch, but whatever works for you guys, no big deal, okay? So I'm gonna head ahead and finish this. We're gonna let this dry for 4 to 6 hours. For me, I'm using Alumilite. I'm going to let this spin for 6 hours, depending on the climate and what my weather looks like, because we've been a little bit, our humidity has been really high. I'm probably going to let this sit a little bit longer, but I will take it off spinning after 6 hours. And I'll let this sit on a drying rack. And yeah, and then we'll move on and we'll wait a couple more hours after that until it's dry, completely dry to the touch, in order to play with any decals. But before I do any of that, I am going to show you what the finished product looks like, and I'm super excited to see your creations. So again, join us on Facebook on our GLITTAFUL Glitter Fanatics page, and if you haven't done so already, like and subscribe to our channel, guys. So I'll be back to show you guys the finished product. All right, guys, so I went ahead and let this dry for 6 to 8 hours, and look at this beauty. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a decal now, and I'll do a another layer of epoxy, and yeah, and get this bad boy to its new home. And again, guys, the color that we used was bloodstone, and this is a chameleon mica from our GLITTAFUL collection. So check us out at www.glittaful.com, and please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to our channel. And as well, join us on Facebook so you can be a part of all the fun, all the crafting fun, and all the GLITTAFUL glitter. Thank you so much for joining me, Stephanie. You all have a GLITTAFUL day. Bye.